The iPhone 17e might just be the most disappointing upgrade Apple has ever launched, because according to early reports, it's going to be worse than the iPhone 16e it's supposed to replace. And not just a little worse. Apple is deliberately dialing things back this time. Here's what's really going on. When Apple launched the iPhone 16e, it accidentally created a bit of a problem for itself. That phone was such good value for the money that a lot of people questioned why they should bother spending more on the standard iPhone 16. Sure, it cut a few corners, but it still felt like a modern iPhone with solid performance and features, and for the price, it was a no-brainer for a lot of buyers. But next year's iPhone 17e, Apple's taking a very different approach. According to reliable insider Mark Gurman, the company is making sure no one mistakes the budget model for anything other than budget. The idea is to make the gap between the iPhone 17e and the standard iPhone 17 much more obvious. So obvious that consumers instantly understand what they're paying extra for if they go with the main model. And that means the 17e won't feel like the same kind of deal the 16e was. Let's start with the display, one of the biggest differences you'll notice right away. While the base iPhone 17 is finally getting Apple's Pro Motion technology with a silky smooth 120 Hz refresh rate, the iPhone 17e will still be stuck at the same 60 Hz display we've had for years. That's a pretty big downgrade in 2026, especially when even mid-range Android phones are offering 90 or 120 Hz as standard. It means scrolling, animations, and gaming will all feel noticeably less smooth compared to the regular iPhone 17. The camera situation is another area where Apple isn't moving forward. Reports say the 17e will use the exact same camera setup as the iPhone 16e. That's not terrible, but it's definitely a sign that Apple isn't trying to push the envelope here. If you were hoping for significant improvements in photo quality, low-light performance, or video features, you might want to temper your expectations. Now, it's not all bad news. The iPhone 17e will get Apple's newest A19 chip, which is expected to offer better performance and efficiency than last year's A18. That means the phone should still feel fast and future-proof when it comes to everyday tasks and software support. And visually, there's one welcome change. Apple is finally ditching the notch on the budget model. The iPhone 17e will reportedly feature the dynamic island, giving it a more modern look that's consistent with the rest of the lineup. But here's the bigger picture. Apple seems to be prioritizing product clarity over raw value this time. With the 16e, a lot of buyers felt like they were getting 90% of a flagship for much less money, and that made the base model look overpriced. With the 17e, Apple doesn't want that confusion. They want the lineup to feel more tiered and intentional. The Pro models at the top with cutting-edge features, the base model as the balanced middle ground, and the E version clearly positioned as the entry-level option. And that means the 17e might feel less like a smart bargain and more like a compromise. It's designed for people who want a brand new iPhone but don't care about things like smoother displays, better cameras, or premium features. They just want the cheapest way into Apple's ecosystem. The upside? It will almost certainly be the most affordable new iPhone you can buy in 2026. And for some people, that's all that matters. If you're upgrading from a much older device, or you mainly use your phone for basic tasks like messaging, calls, and streaming, the 17e could still be a solid choice. The A19 chip and the updated design mean it won't feel outdated, just simplified. But if you loved the iPhone 16e because it offered near-flagship performance and features at a budget-friendly price, the 17e might be a letdown. It's a reminder that Apple isn't trying to win the value race. It's trying to upsell you on the more expensive models. And this time, they're making that decision a lot more obvious. So the real question isn't whether the iPhone 17e will be a bad phone. It probably won't. But it will be a phone that feels very intentionally limited. And whether that's worth your money depends entirely on what you expect from a budget iPhone in 2026. One thing's for sure, if you're thinking about waiting for the 17e because the 16e was such a great deal, you might want to rethink that plan. The best budget iPhone Apple made might already be behind us. What's your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments section. See you in the next video. Take care.